Dirty Old Man here with another video. Now, I was planning to do several videos this weekend, but unfortunately real life happened and some problems came up. And really wasn't in the mood to do them. So when I get sad or depressed, I watch a bunch of YouTube videos. And today I was watching a bunch of conspiracy theory videos. Oh, 9/11, the Holocaust didn't happen. But now I want to talk about the JFK conspiracy, or so-called conspiracy. Here's the thing. I'm not going to talk about point by point, this evidence or that evidence and blah, blah, blah. That's all, there's other videos if you want that. It all comes down to the logic of the situation. When you think about it, it doesn't make sense. So these conspirators set up 3 shells in the book depository, and they're going to show that that's the shells that supposedly set up Oswald. When in reality, there's a whole. I've heard people say up to 8 or 9 shooters. So you're gonna tell me they're gonna plan 8 or 9 shooters, and they only put 3 shells in the depository, not thinking that nothing else will be found. And by the way, nothing else was really found except the 3 bullets that were fired. And that's another thing. CIA, black ops, covert military. You think when they're going to, eliminate the president, that they're going to send their best people? But no. Apparently they got 5, 6, 7, 8 shooters shooting at a slow-ass moving fucking limousine, aiming at Kennedy's big fat head, and only one could get off a headshot. Where do they get these fuckers? It makes no sense. I've seen videos where people who are in favor of these conspiracy theories say, well, this photo proves the conspiracy theory of Kennedy's brain, but the photo that proves that against the conspiracy theory, that's faked. See, when you start picking and choosing which evidence you're going to believe, then the whole thing falls apart. And talking about falling apart, when I've researched these JFK theories, there's probably about at least 10, maybe 15 theories. Let's go that there's 10 theories of the JFK assassination. Whether you believe it's the mafia, whether you believe it's the Cubans, whether you believe it's the CIA, whether you believe it's the FBI, whether you believe it's some other covert agency. So if there's 10 theories on the assassination, then by math logic, 9 of them are wrong off the bat. At least 9 of them, if not all 10. And those 9 that are wrong, if you listen to them and you listen to people twisting facts, it makes sense. But think about it. You can't have 10 different ways this happened. 15 different ways this happened. That's impossible. And some people say, Oswald wasn't a good shooter. This guy in the Marines, and this is well documented, I don't think anybody's even refuting it. At 200 yards, out of 50 rounds, can get 49 to 48 bullets in the on the target. 200 yards, like twice the distance of where he shot Kennedy. But how can he get off 6 shots in 6 seconds? Or 3 shots in 6 seconds? Well, remember, the first shot was already in the chamber, so that didn't take any time. So he had 2 shots to get off in 6 seconds, which CBS and Dan Rather reports showed it was done very easily. Hell, some guy even got 3 out of 3 shots on a moving target that wasn't even a military guy, and he did better than Oswald. Oswald missed 1 shot. It's this thing where people are like, if something major happens, then something major has to counterbalance it, If a bunch of Looney Tune fucking terrorists knock down, 3 buildings of the World Trade Center, It couldn't have been then. That's impossible. It had to be some big old. Had to be George Bush calling them up, and a whole bunch of. The government was behind it, and everybody's in on it. No, sometimes it happens the way it happens. Lee Harvey Oswald even ended up in that book depository building, just a stroke of luck. He had applied like 6 or 7 places that same week, and they all turned him down. And it wasn't until him and his wife and his wife's friend were talking about it. And they said, well, my husband works at this place. Have him apply there. And he applied there and he got the job about a week before. We got to come to grip that sometimes circumstances and happenstance just happen. Oswald just happened to be working there. He had a big hatred for Kennedy, for the United States. And it just occurred to him, you know what? He's passing by my place of work. So there's nobody loser in life. Figured he'd be a big man by doing this, and and as human beings are, he ended up being a big man for doing it because we're still talking about him like 50 years later. So yes, I think Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone gunman that killed John F. Kennedy. Just because something major happened doesn't mean that something major had to counterbalance it. Shit happens. That's life. Well, that's all for today. This is Dirty Old Man, as always. Go with God, but please do come back.